early, before the dawn of day, European slave catchers, pale like funeral paint, assailed and assaulted the villages of brown and black husbands and wives and elders and children. Pitiful cries, shrill shrieks of panic and pain wailing from the guts of the captured filled the morning air as the unfortunate ones were herded and chained like unruly farm animals. Thin black skin torn like a cheap leather jacket from the flea market hanging on the stooped back of brothers, sisters, exposed to the leering pornographic gaze of the morally compromised slavers, eyes cold like balls of dirty ice. Their mahogany finished feet of our ancestors shuffled beneath them, carrying them toward a destiny that they could never have dreamed or imagined, even in their most horrible nightmare. The Portuguese chanted the names of their saints while we concentrated on the pantheon of ancestors and spiritual mothers and fathers. And they crusaded in the name of the Lord, making undeclared war on the people of Senegal, Gambia, Angola, Congo, and Nigeria. Up and down the western coast of Africa, they stole the people. They penetrated the interior of the mother continent and robbed the people of themselves and packed them on slave ships like too many clothes in an old-timey suitcase. How dreadful, how utterly macabre the scene and the sin. They were snatched from their lives and transported to a place that they had never known. The Igbo, Akan, Wolof, Sura, and Bakongo people were now stirred into one large bubbling stew of humanity, slaves in a foreign land, husbands torn away from their wives, children ripped from the arms of their parents, and they were sold away from each other. Doubtless they were weakened and by the beatings and the voids, disoriented, not knowing the difference from east and west, north and south, overwhelmed by fear and loss. They wondered aloud, where in hell am I? And where is God in the midst of this hell? How could the Lord be in this place? Oh, my sister and my brethren, my colleagues, my students, enemies and friends, haters and advocates, doubtless you may have experienced a similar feeling of disorientation upon entering the hallowed halls of the seminary. After being stretched and pulled in a multitude of theological directions, challenged around your archaic worldview and beloved embedded theologies of toxicity, and after being compelled to wrestle with the likes of angels by the name of Weems and Harris and Campbell and Slaughter, throwing Bibles around and acting all crazy in front of you, might have found yourself in a space whereby you wonder to yourself, does God really have the ABC? Or is the law just at my church? And you may still be confused and discombobulated. However, before long you may discover that the Lord is in this place. But you just didn't know it. Come on, talk back to me. You finished right quick. This is a short one. Our current Our trials and troubles are by no means as extreme as those encountered by our foreparents. However, there are times when we must wonder aloud if God is present in the midst of our suffering. We lose our jobs and it feels like our very lives are in jeopardy. We lose our loved ones and we feel as if we will surely die ourselves. Our hearts get heavy. And we get sick and lonely, and sometimes we can sit in our own living room and feel as though we are a million miles away from home and from God. During those times, we are often surprised to discover that God is yet present with us. And somehow we fall asleep, drift away into the land of dreams and visions, and are exposed to the awesome presence that sustains us, and we awaken with a confession on our lips, saying as did Jacob, surely the Lord is in this place. I just didn't know it. Jacob, son of Isaac, Rebekah, and brother of Esau, fugitive, stranger, foreigner, coward, deceiver, and bearer of an ill-gotten blessing, has grown tired while walking toward his destiny. Jacob is one of those strange biblical characters who seem to live a life that would render him unworthy of the blessings that he experiences. Kind of like me. His motives appear to be suspect, and I can hardly discern the methodology behind his madness. So many things make Jacob's motivation subject to suspicion. He's stolen his brother's blessing. And ganked him out of his birthright. And as if that were not enough, he ran away instead of facing the difficulties that developed in the wake of his debauchery. Where is God in this man's life? Do you see God anywhere in Jacob's life? So Jacob leaves Beersheba in disgrace, walking until the sun sets in the bosom of the great sea, which glistens like a lapis blue crown above the head of the northern African sky. He grabs a large stone and positions it beneath his tired head. As the blues man said, looked like he was born for hard luck. He lays his head on the stone and he drifts off into a dream or a vision, which ancient texts describe as a stairway to heaven, like the OJs did, and with the angels ascending and descending the stairs. And in his dream, and I have to continually remind myself that it's a dream, and you need to remember that it's just a dream. You know, you can dream too. In his dream, the Lord comes and stands beside him and begins to speak to him in his dream. And Jacob says, the Lord said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give you and to your offspring, and your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east, and then the north and the south. All the families of the earth shall be blessed, or shall bless themselves in you and in your offspring. Know that I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you. And this is the part that gets me excited, until I have done what I have promised you. If I had time, you know, I would extrapolate on all this stuff, but I'm just going to preach what's on the paper. And then Jacob awoke, startled, overwhelmed, and afraid. His mudcloth garments sticking to his body with sweat. Pools of sweat filled his ears, and he couldn't hear anything except the Lord talking. His mind raced. He grappled mentally with the ramifications of what he had just experienced in the unconscious realm. The sheer weight and reality, y'all give me some feedback. The sheer weight and reality of the dream caused him to say, surely The law is in this place, and I did not know it. This place is awesome. This must be the house of God and the gate of heaven. And so he took the stone upon which he laid his head and anointed it with oil, as the same sun that had set upon him began to shoot tiny rays over the eastern horizon like the powdery dust of an orange pixie stick.